The launch of the University Data Centre Alliance, which is a partnership between the University of Melbourne, Monash University, RMIT and Fujitsu. Now we think this is the first of its kind in Australia and demonstrates the capacity for collaboration between universities where we have a shared interest in expanding our ability to support core activities in teaching and research. And the Alliance grew out of a belief that we could develop our IT capacity much more effectively by working together and by working separately. Not only will this be cost effective to the partners, it will also help us all to reduce our carbon footprint. Fujitsu was selected as our industry partner as a result of a tender process, and the choice of Fujitsu was based on their commitment to sustainability and their capacity to work with the peculiar or particular needs of universities.
Research is, the whole paradigm of research is changing, particularly in the science and technology is an area that, Victoria prides itself as leading Australia. And we're successfully building fabulous infrastructure in this state. I can think of two examples: the new supercomputer that's going to be based here in Parkville, synchrotron at Clayton. And it's wonderful to have them, but the end result is researchers are creating all this data more and more quickly, and I think I'll probably get the time span wrong. It's either every 5 years or every 10 years. We're doubling the amount of data that the world is producing. So the capacity of universities to compete in this new world where managing data is going to have to be a sort of a core competence is something that people in my role worry about, and the costs are not insignificant. And so you sometimes think we could actually get to the point where it's costing us more to sort of generate and store the data than actually do the research on it. So anything that we can do along the way to make the storage and therefore the capacity to reuse that data more efficient and, as Margaret said, less costly, then the more that we're able to support the research teams at our different universities to actually do the thinking to make the breakthroughs that are based on this data. The carbon footprint, and this I think is a wonderplay example of how by combining resources we can not only keep Victoria at the leading edge in terms of research, but try and play our bit to a sustainable future.
Because it does data centre capacity at a lower cost. And indeed there is nothing more likely to bring a smile to the mouth of a Vice Chancellor or a senior executive than indeed that. But it does so by providing better quality, greater sustainability.
I guess environmental sustainability is part of the Fujitsu DNA, if you like. It goes back 75 years when we first developed a manufacturing site in Japan to look like a park. And it's quite amazing. I was there some 3 months ago, and there's a lake, there's animals, there's trees surrounding our factory, so it's quite phenomenal. But if you look at what we're doing today, Fujitsu is leading research. We've got 56,000 observation points for measuring greenhouse gas emissions globally. And Fujitsu is doing all that research and applying our technology to start to think about how does IT look at sustainability in the future. The IT sector faces significant challenges. In 2007, we're about 2% of global emissions. By 2020, we'll be 6%. That means we're tripling our consumption over the next 10 years. This year, we reached 1.2 billion PCs. By 2020, it'll be 4 billion. But if we start to look at data centres, back in 2002, they were about 76 megatons of greenhouse gas emissions. But by 2020, they'll be 259. So we have an alarming issue here. Those growth projections already take into account technology improvements such as cloud computing. Concepts such as smart grids, smart logistics and smart technologies are going to have to shape the way we live and work. For the world to achieve, a stabilisation of a 2-degree increase in temperature, we need to look at technology, systems and markets and how we live and how we work. And in most cases, we can actually look to developing nations to learn from them. They're actually leading the race when we start to look at leapfrogging with technology. In Bangladesh, Uganda and Ghana, more people have a mobile phone than they do have electricity to their house. They use these to conduct trade, open up markets through villages, and it's quite phenomenal that they've seen a significant increase in GDP from a technology rather than foreign aid. They throw their mobile phones up on top of the canopies as they're driving around. And people might wonder why they do that, but they're solar powered. So if we start to think about that as a concept, that has to be how we look at this challenge. We commend the universities for their sustainable leadership, and we're really looking forward to a long-term view and partnership.